If only there was a magical formula from going from being poor to being rich, it would be just that easy. But in today's video, we're going to be looking at 9 steps you can take to really go in there and really start building a very rich and wealthy lifestyle. Starting with number 1, developing a high income skill. Now, when it comes to learning and really self-improvement, it is up to you to do this. I've seen a lot of people that have mastered different skills, whether it's coding, whether it's marketing, whether it's video editing, which I am absolutely horrible at. You can boost your income with a side hustle. You can also teach that and turn that into your primary job if it is something that you're passionate about. If you're going in and you're working your regular 9 to 5 and it's something that you're not really committed to, you're not happy with what you're doing, it is time to make the change. It is time to develop and build your skill set to the point where you can be a high income earner. Second one we look at, living below your means. This is something that I feel like a majority of people have really lost. It is super crucial to track your expenses, cut your unnecessary spending, and know exactly where your money goes. If you want to call it a budget, if you want to call it a savings plan, if you want to cut out lattes, if you want to get rid of Starbucks, whatever you want to do, you have to know exactly where your money is going. If you're making $2,000 a month and you're spending $3,000 a month, chances are that is going to catch up with you. And guess what? You are going to stay poor for the rest of your life because that extra $1,000 is going to have to come from somewhere. And of course, you are really robbing your future you of the money and the prosperity that you have. When you start your career, it might be living very frugal, or it might be at the point where you do have debt. Getting rid of the debt elimination is going to be the number one wealth builder. And of course, when we look at Dave Ramsey, the 7 baby steps, eliminating debt is really the biggest thing, and it is going to have the most impact, not only financially in your life, but also psychologically. When you think of all the stress and all of the heartache, all of the fights that do come with debt and really spending itself, you can manage it, and you can manage it very well. Looking at our third one, investing aggressively. You want to talk about the ability to change your life. Start investing as much as possible, as soon as possible, once that debt is gone. And honestly, depending on your situation, it might be good to invest a little bit to at least get that company match, to get the ball rolling. Because what happens a lot of times is I see individuals that are in debt. They have a lot of debt. They have a repayment plan. They're paying the debt down little by little. But during the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years, they accumulate a little more debt, then they pay it down quite a bit. They're doing consolidation loans, then they're right back to borrowing again. Then the investment never happens. And that's exactly what I do not want for you. You have to be investing, and you have to be investing on a regular basis. Even looking again at those baby steps, I would put the company match probably above and beyond, maybe getting that $1,000 emergency fund, getting the company match, then really burning down this debt like wildfire. Because like I said, I don't want you to be 3, 5 years down the road, you have zero invested and you're still carrying a bunch of debt because it is not going anywhere. But the faster that you want to build wealth is the more aggressive that you can spend. Me personally, I cut out almost spending in its entirety because I want to invest aggressively. I want to retire by the time I'm 50, and we are absolutely on that train. Next one we look at is focus on becoming wealthy over becoming rich. Now, you might have heard the same thing there. Wealthy and rich is completely different. When it comes to being rich, that is really people who have money in the bank that are sitting on, a bunch of stocks, bonds, whatever it may be. Now, money does not bring happiness, which is the reason why a lot of people focus on being wealthy instead of being rich. For a lot of people, wealthy will mean something different. It could be living a full, joyful life, being able to give back to others, maybe volunteering some of your time, spending more time with your kids, doing less time at work. Sitting here, it does take money. Money is a tool, and that is really the game-changing thing that I've seen probably about 10 years now, is money is just a tool. It is a means to buy what things that you need. And again, not really focusing so much on the want aspect with being rich. And again, being able to really set my kids up and my grandkids up for financial success. Being wealthy definitely is really tenfold over being rich in every single scenario you look at. It's nice to have money and it's nice to have nice things, but you can get by with everything else you have. Now, of course, for this next one, figuring out your purpose. This is really the purpose in life. This is where if you focus your energy, if you're putting it in the right direction, this will be the game changer literally for the rest of your life. This is where the wealth is going to come from. Not about being rich. Rich will come, trust me, it does, and it does come with time. But it is about being wealthy in the things that you love to do. It is really the plan and the steady journey towards building wealth and the creation of wealth versus just focusing on it really chasing the dollar. It is going to be more about the decisions that impact your life and bringing you forward than the return that you're getting on your money. That again is how you build wealth instead of just getting rich. When you start looking at your way to get wealth and really the mannerisms that do build wealth, you will find that money and rich will come with it when you are more focused on exactly what you want to do. And of course, that cannot be accomplished without setting goals. This is one of the absolute, again, biggest game changers that I did. When you start setting a legitimate goal, you're going to set a very, very specific goal. You're going to put a time frame around it and you're going to know exactly what it is. Now, my goal right now is having $1 million in retirement accounts before the age of 50 and also paying my house in the entirety. And I know that is coming in the next 6 years. So I know my timeline. I know my goal, exactly what I want to do for building wealth for myself. That is going to align with exactly what I want to do with my purpose and my goal of having more time that I don't have to work a 9 to 5, having a lot more of a flexible schedule with my kids and being able to really make the purpose in life outside of just working that 9 to 5. And of course, when you look at multiple income streams, continuously increasing your income, there's a lot of ways to do this, and it is much easier said than done. But when you start looking at things like this with YouTube as a side hustle, it is generating income. The income generation from here, if you checked out my portfolio, we are putting it all into the HD. So everything that is kind of the revenue generation through YouTube itself is going into building riches, is going into building wealth, which is exactly what I want to. With the wealth that we're putting there, if I can get dividends every single quarter, that is going to supplement income while I'm in retirement, which again is going to go full circle all the way around. And of course, when you start looking at Americans, 54% of Americans have some sort of collaboration, some sort of side hustle, anything to create that additional income. So if you like the content that I'm throwing out here on YouTube, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. And of course, there are more ways, and it's different for anyone and everyone. When you start looking at side hustles, find something you love to do. Trust me, it'll make it, not only the time will be much happier than spending really the 9 to 5, but when you find something that you're passionate about, and financial education is absolutely the place that I found it. It is going to be very, very simplified and very streamlined. When you want to get from point A to point B, it is easy to do. And especially if you can help a ton of people along the way, it is a game changer when it comes to financial planning and education for me, which is where I absolutely love. Now, of course, the next one we look at, number 7, is investing in what you believe in. This is my thought as well. When I start looking at investment, when I start looking at my investment portfolio, I am putting money into things that I believe in. I am putting money into the VOO, the S&P 500, which of course is the 500 largest companies within the United States. I believe in the United States. I believe in America. That is why personally, I do not invest outside. I don't have anything in international stocks and bonds and anything. I put it all into where I really feel like artificial intelligence, the growth market, the tech sectors, all of those are really going to make a big difference in the years. And of course, looking at having younger kids, they are growing up with everything technology wise, and it is only getting faster. It is really, really important to be investing in what you believe in. And of course, when you start looking at ETFs, if you're putting it into different sectors, if you know your return on investment, you really have to do your research with where the money is going, but you can generate an incredible amount of wealth very, very fast if you're investing into something you believe in. And the final one of this is tighten your circle. This, of course, is huge. This may not be a very popular step, but it is probably the most crucial one that people see is when they start looking at you as an individual, they say, when you take a look at your closest friends, I can tell you exactly who you are. Now, of course, take inventory. Look at your 6 closest friends. See exactly who you're surrounding yourself with. Is it the right people? Are these people that are lifting you up? That when you share your goals, they might think, that it is kind of crazy or you're never going to achieve it? Or do they put you down? Are you around toxic people? That, of course, is going to be the biggest game changer for you personally and professionally when you start getting outside of your own comfort zone. If your friends and your family are not aligned, unfortunately, of course, with family, you can't get new ones, but don't waste your time with people who are going to put you down. Don't put yourself down, and make sure, regardless of the background you get from or you came from, it will really hinder your ability to build wealth with the negative personas that they give. And of course, one Will Smith always says, and this resonates with me, is where you came from is where you came from. But when you start looking forward, everything you do, that is all you. Regardless of what happened to you in the past, carrying that with you forever is not going to make a big difference. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.